Mistakes that are making your business stagnant when you could be making millions. Quickly before we start, I want to remind you that you have the opportunity to win a 25-minute business audit with me, whether you are in the early stages of business or what feels like the early stages of business, and you want to improve your marketing, your brand positioning, your content, the systems behind running a business, or just upgrade your CEO identity and get rid of those nasty insecurities that are blocking you. This is your chance. And all you have to do is leave a cute little review for this podcast because it really helps the podcast to grow. So go leave a review, take a screenshot, send it to me either via Instagram or email, and you will be officially entered to win the free business audit. Girl, I know that you could be making millions. I know that you believe in your own work. Duh. And I know you get the results for your client. Duh. You're good at what you do and you know it. And you know that you should get paid for this and you should get the impact and the success that you're desiring, but somehow your business feels stagnant. And hello, I really know what it's like, the frustration to be multiple years in and still feel like it's the early stages of business. And it's so frustrating when you then watch other people online making their first million in the first year or in the first 2 years of business, and you're year fucking 7 and you're still struggling. So chances are you're making one or multiple of the mistakes we're going to talk about today. I do have my notes here on my computer so that I don't forget anything, but I want you to overcome whatever is in your way to get the kind of impact and to be like, fucking hell, I'm putting so much effort, so much of my energy. You're doing the fucking work. You are showing up. You're doing the things. You're holding this shit with all of yourself, probably with a lot of people who don't really trust you and your vision around yourself. So you're also battling just an environment that is not necessarily the most supportive. You're hearing tons of other business advice and you're trying to apply everything at the same time and you feel overwhelmed, confused, and frustrated. I feel like when we are in that position, the worst feeling is the frustration. It's like I'm putting my heart and soul, so many months of years probably of effort, and I'm not getting what I really, really, really want. And I know I'm good at what I do. So I know I should be making millions. So why is my fucking business stagnant? And maybe you're done actually listening to advice from people who have done it in the first year of business, right? Like I came to a point in my journey where I loved it, seeing the almost overnight success, which is never, right? We know it's a lot of effort and a lot of work and a lot of hustling, but when we see, oh my God, I became a 6-figure, a 7-figure coach in the first year of business, you're like, why is it not working for me? After a while, because I've been stagnant for so long and I was making all the mistakes that we're going to talk about, I wanted support from people who actually know what it's like to be stagnant, to make mistakes, to learn from them. Like I want to know that someone knows the struggle, because I'm not interested in your overnight success, because how long is it going to be? And what did you actually do to get there? Is it also sustainable? So we're going to talk about all of that today. I'm sorry I got a bit so spread out because I'm really excited with the topic of today, because you got the genius and your offers or your work is so valuable. But that you already know, right? You already know that you're good at what you do. You don't need that kind of reassurance, even though sometimes we all need a little confident boost of like, yeah, girl, what you're doing is amazing. Keep on going. But I'm going to list out 7 mistakes. The first one, I think, was such a big deal for me, which is being so spread thin. Too spread thin. How is it that I'm doing a podcast? I wrote down my shit so I know I'm structured and I can not forget anything. And the first point, I'm stumbling upon my words. So basically, you're trying to do everything at the same time. You are the kind of girly who has 17 tabs open and you are building your Google My Business page, as the same time you're working on the copywriting for your website. Simultaneously, you're trying to create content for Instagram and to be better at copywriting. Simultaneously, you're launching 2 different offers and you're doing photography online courses. You're also trying to sell your design services. And you're also trying to do sound healing, whatever it might be. I'm taking examples from real life from a dear friend of mine who is also an entrepreneur that actually inspired this episode today. So that's why I'm kind of laughing sneakily, because if she listens to that podcast, she will definitely recognize herself. But it can also be that maybe you're not spread too thin within different things you want to do, but maybe you're just trying to do this one thing. So maybe you're a fitness coach and you're trying to grow your audience and you're trying to run beta rounds with some people, maybe even for free, so that you get the testimonial, so you have something to show. And simultaneously, you're also trying to work on the structure of your business, and simultaneously, you're also trying to work on your email list, building a freebie or something, some kind of funnel. You're just trying to do it all at the same time, because the truth is, in business, there will always be something to be done. There is always a billion tasks we have to do. No matter the size of your business, it's very true when you're early on and you haven't barely started, because you have everything to do. But it's also very, very true from high, really far away in the journey kind of businesses. The reason I'm saying that is because I actually got the click in me that I needed when I actually listened to Alex Hormozi. When I watched this YouTube video from Alex Hormozi, he was talking about how he was dealing with that notion of focusing on one thing in the business, no matter how many tasks need to be done. And he had to tell his team and have different team meetings saying, I know this needs to be done. I know this has to be done. I know what you're working on and your current tasks are important, but I need you to stop what you're doing, because we're going to all focus on that right now. So I was like, oh my God, this is not something from just like small businesses and early stages businesses. It's something that even bigger businesses with a team managing people, they also have to come back to. So if you're the kind of girly that is overwhelmed and you justify that under the fact that you love that, and I get it, because I was the same, girl, I really was the same, but it didn't lead me anywhere except overwhelmed, complete burnout, crashing out every 3 days and being like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? What am I doing wrong? And it's not a good feeling. And at some point, you can also justify that with your human design. Girl, I'm a manifesting generator. So I know I want to put that on my astrology. I want to put that on my human design. I want to put that in my, how do you call that? HDHD. I want to put that on something. I want to justify it because I'm attached to the righteousness of like, no, but I really want to do multiple things at the same time. I'm multi-passionate. We say those things. It's just a disservice to the business. And then we justify it sometimes with the feminine energy. I want to lead with my intuition. I want to lead with my heart. This should not prevent you from stepping into the masculine structure and the discipline to focus on one thing. Because what you're doing right now is serving no fucking one. Literally, like you're doing a disservice to your clients. So if you say that you run a business to help people, then show it. Just show it. And I know it might sound a bit harsh. This trend on Instagram right now, it was probably a trend on TikTok 3 months ago, but I'm not on TikTok. So, I'm always late to the party, where they say, oh, things I would tell you as, I don't know, a social media marketer if I was not afraid to hurt your feelings, or things I would tell you as a fitness coach if I was not afraid to hurt your feelings. Well, let me tell you things if I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings. And we're going to talk about that later. But there are people that you're helping and solving with your offers, with your work, that are in pain right now, and you're keeping them in pain because you're stuck in your own bullshit. This is so selfish. I wanted to find a more punchy terms, but I didn't want to insult you either. Because I know what it's like, the overwhelmed, and I don't want to dismiss your feelings because this is so valid and I see that you're in pain too, but you need to do this for yourself. Try it out. Try it out. It worked so well for me. And I can tell you the confidence that comes from completing a project from A to Z and not just, missing always the last 10%. I think I've heard that in a podcast one day where the girl was sharing how she would put so much effort into everything and then the last 10% was always the one missing. She would not complete the last 10%. And then you're never fucking proud of yourself. And I want you to be proud of yourself. And you can already be proud for all the investment and time you're putting in your business. But if your energy is so everywhere, it's nowhere. And I personally believe that you cannot be excellent when you're too spread thin. You just can be great and you can be amazing already. You cannot be next fucking level, excellent, brilliant, amazing, plus, if you're trying to do it all. I don't want to hear you being like, oh, but the day I have a team and I need support and no, fuck no. If you're not in a place where you can do that right now, if you cannot invest in a team, then you still need to find a way for your business to work for you as a solo entrepreneur. Otherwise, the things is you're never gonna get there eventually to have support, right? So maybe you need to abort some projects. And it doesn't mean erase and delete them forever. You just create a fucking note in your computer. Ideas for laters, things I have to do later in business so that it clears your mind. That's what I've done this year. And let me tell you the magic it did for me. Because I thought, oh my God, I want to launch Femme Sensuelle, my program about sensuality, turn on femininity, how to awaken that part and how to be more present in your body. I wanted to launch another course about dropping the walls around your heart and everything about manifesting love and the polarity between men and women and how to heal our relationship with men so that we can start to be that surrender bitch we want to be. I know later this year I will also want to launch something about the wild woman, and in the meantime there is also all the business and entrepreneurial things that I want to share with my clients, so it's more personalized group coaching and one-on-one coaching work. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to do all of that. And simultaneously, I really want to revive my Instagram because I've been gone for a year and a half almost. I mean, I was not gone, but I was not putting in the work to build an actual business. I was just sharing a bit of random things. I also wanted to redo my website and I have so many things to do. I could turn my computer around right now if all the cables were not plugged in and show you everything that I have in not for now, because I promised myself I will commit to that one thing and focus just on that. And I actually never really done that to that extent of every time my mind tries to go somewhere else, I brought myself back and I brought myself back and I brought myself back. Every time I got distracted into making this podcast a little bit more professional or thinking, oh, I really want to pitch myself on other people's podcasts. Let me work on my pitch. Or, oh, I really want to redo my email banner. Do you say banner? The top front of the email. I was like, stop it. So I would go there. I would start working on my business. I would start working on the thing. And I'm like, is this moving the needle forward to get my Femme Sensuelle program out? No. So, okay, we bring myself back. And let me tell you, this is harder than you think. Because you may be like, okay, I get it. I should focus on one thing at the same time. But the truth is, especially when you're a solo entrepreneur, you get a million things to do. And it's so easy to get overwhelmed because you will naturally, intuitively want to run with your feminine energy and do what feels good in the moment because you also follow your inspiration. I get that, but again, I feel like at least that's my own experience, right? That was doing a disservice to my business because nothing was ever going all the way to completion and I was not putting my whole energy. And even right now, I'm telling you, I need to discipline myself again and again and again to really force myself. And that's a term you will not hear me talk about in other episodes, especially if we talk about feminine energy, because I'm like, we should never force and we should do less forcing, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes when it comes to business and consistency and discipline, I need to fucking force myself. And in this instance, I had to force myself because I know my flaws. I don't know if it's a flaw, but I know my weaknesses. I know my tendencies, and I know, because I've been stagnant for many years, that it doesn't produce the result that I'm looking for. So if you've been stagnant when you know that you should be making millions, this is your wake-up call. Your work is way too important. There are women, I'm guessing you're helping women, I don't know why, but there are people that you care about. You probably don't know them. They probably don't know you yet, but they're crying in their rooms right now. They're crying in their rooms because they need your offer coming out of your mouth. Whatever you're serving, right? But I'm talking to service-based businesses. So they need your art, they need your medicine, they need your genius. And even if they can find it to somewhere else, because let's be honest, we're not very original. We are all basically sharing something that already exists. We're not big disruptors. Like, we're trying to be innovative, but we're not like Elon Musk. Like, not all of us are. But the way you do things, your own energy, and also the people you're meant to reach, because maybe it's going to be from, I don't know, a high school friend that you didn't suspected that is going to, I don't know, one day share one piece of your content to someone else, and that person would have never had access to your algorithm and all the big name in your industry that you're following. Does that make sense? I'm getting lost in my thoughts a little bit. Oh, I don't know why, but since yesterday, it's been 2 days, I have this British accent. This weird mix of French and British and weirdish accent coming through. So bear with me. That gives me a whole persona. I don't know. That feels just good in my mouth. Like, even, oh my God. Anyway, so you're burning out and you're getting overwhelmed because you're so spread thin, and this is not good. So you have to discipline yourself, girl, because you're not doing a service to anyone right now. Literally, you're doing a disservice to you and your growth and your bank account and your community and your income and your impact, everything that you say you want, right? And you're also doing a disservice to the person, the people that you say you want to help. So get out of your own shit. Respectfully, lovingly. I get so passionate about this, and this is where I get my fire. I'm talking to you the way I talk to myself, because I need that discipline. I need that brutal honesty of like, shit, that was in my blind spot. Shit, I haven't been showing up to my highest potential. Shit, I have done some damage and disservice to my business with the mistakes that I've made. That's why I created this list. The second one is very on point. It's watering down your expression. I am so guilty of that. That's why I'm having a lot more fun in the podcast, because I feel like I can unleash a version of me that I cannot quite, because it takes me a little while to warm up. And that's the same in a conversation with a friend or one-on-one coaching, or even my podcast. When I used to have guests, I remember it felt like a mushroom journey, like literally, because they were like a slow beginning and a build up and a build up and a build up with a peak experience. And then, you know, coming back down and kind of integrating all of that. So it takes me a while to like be in the zone and to really say what I want to say. But on social media, because I'm growing my business on social media, probably you are too. On social media, I watered down my expression so much so, and I'm still doing it. Like, if you're here on the podcast and you follow me on Instagram, you know the difference. I'm sometimes trying, like, I will be with my phone, right, trying to record content because I have a lot of things to say. And I want to tell so many stories. I want to tell my own stories. I want to tell stories from my friends, my clients. I want to share. I love sharing. I love talking. Oh, girl, I'm just like literally feeling tingles in my yoni right now. I love it. I have so much I want to express. But then as soon as I pick up the phone and I know it's for Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, I need to make sure I give enough context, enough contrast, because it's important for me too. That's the thing. It's like I'm very aware that life is never black or white, that I can be so convinced of some things. I can be so convinced of something, and simultaneously the contradiction of that is also very true, and I also believe in it. And this contradiction, I can kind of hold it in my system, but because we live in this fucking cancel culture, I cannot help but be hyper aware of all the opinions of people, to the extent that it's not just in my content, it's not just what I have to express regarding my expertise. I don't even dare to share my food, because I'm like, if there are piece of meat in my plate, I'm afraid I'm going to offend the vegans. And I'm like, what the fuck? And that's a random example, but I do that with literally everything. I don't really want to use my daughter as content, but I'm a proud mama and I love my daughter with all of my heart. She is the most precious little creature that ever existed in my eyes. I love being a mom. Like, I really, really, really fucking love it. So I do want sometimes to share aspects of that. But in my head, I have all the parenting advice and what I should do and and I get so like, oh my God, what do I share? I'm just aware of the criticism I would receive. Watering down your expression. This is a big mistake that I'm still working through. I think from all that we're going to talk about, those are me. Like, I've done that. If you're constantly editing yourself to be liked, you're just becoming bland and boring. And I know, I watch my content and I'm like, this is not who I am in real life. I'm not that boring. I have very strong opinions and I have a lot of fire. And in my content, you're like, oh, I'm the good girl. And that's literally not what we want to do if we want to be unforgettable. I feel like, and I believe, right? It's hard for me to embody that, but I profoundly believe that our voice should hurt. It should seduce, it should sting and spark and seduce, captivate. It should repulse the people that you're not supposed to work with, that you're not supposed to engage with, the boring ass people you don't want in your life. And it should spark interest in the people that really fucking vibe with you. And the only way, I've always said that, most of my life, I felt like I was looking for my tribe. And I was like, oh my God, I just want people in my vibe. And I was blaming my environment where I was living at. Oh, I'm from a small town in France. Like, there is no way I'm finding people. How do you want people to find you if you're hiding? And I remember that was a time where I was really trying to be more myself outside of my home, and I was dancing on the beach for the first time, and I don't know, singing on the beach and walking differently in the streets. Like, I was just trying to be me. I was also wearing different type of clothes. I was just trying to be more me, and I kept repeating this sentence again and again and again in my mind. How do you want your people to find you if you're hiding? It's the same here. If you water down your expression, if we water down our expression, I'm going to talk as we, because like I haven't mastered this one, except in my podcast. In my podcast, I feel like you're just my bestie and I'm talking to you and it feels good. I also love the vibe. I have to say, this gives me, fired up when I have a little bit of notes, because it feels like I'm running a masterclass, and this is where my genius come through. I'm really hot in this room. Let's move to point number 3, shall we? 3, right? Yeah. Inconsistency. Okay. You are going too much with emotion. And I'm not blaming you for it, because maybe you went through a lot in your life. That was me. I was very fired up. I was like, this is it. I'm focusing on my business. Like, there's nothing else that matters for a month. And then something will show up and happen in my life. And I would be completely thrown out of balance, whether it was heartbreak, personal, very painful experience when it comes to my physical safety and just a form of abuse that I wish on nobody. Then it was getting pregnant and being postpartum. Like, I was just completely out of it. I was like in and off and in and off, and I was trying and I didn't had the clarity of like, this is what I want and I'm gonna figure this shit out. Again, that the inconsistency is usually paired up with like trying to do everything at once. So you're confused, you don't know what you're doing because you're trying to do it all. But the inconsistency is also, you're just showing up when you feel like it, and you call that following your intuition. And yes, you should listen to yourself. Like, this is something I believe in, but this is not enough. This is not enough. You know how in love, I've always said, love is not enough? Like, when you really, really love someone, if the relationship is so shitty, love is not enough. I do believe in love. I do believe that you truly care about your partner, but you need other things. You need commitment, you need respect, you need like effort, you need so many things, right? You need to feel valued. You need so many things in a relationship. We're not going to go there. But in the business, it's the same. You do need that passion. You do need that intuition. You do need your heart in it. But you need more than that. You need the structure, right? You need the consistency so that you can show up as a leader for yourself first. It's just to prove yourself in the first place, because when you have that confidence for yourself, you radiate a different kind of energy and you feel like you're more equipped to talk about the things. So again, another suggestion of mine would be force yourself. You have to force yourself. And I'm not blaming you, because I completely disappeared in those painful times of my life. And I don't know if I could, like, I don't know. I don't want to wish myself anything, but I know when things are not great in my relationship, I'm such a devoted girlfriend. I'm such a devoted partner. I'm devoted to my man and to my family so much that when I'm going through something really hard with him, and, you know, being postpartum and going through that first year of the baby, changing from 2 to 1, that can be really challenging for a relationship. When I grew through hard times, it's so hard for me to show up. Like, I don't show up with the same energy. But right now, I'm like forcing myself to. And it's easy because it's kind of stable. But if something big was to happen, and I'm again like, I don't want to manifest that, but I don't know, a family member passing away, or I don't know, something happening to my daughter, or I don't even want to say those things out loud, but something really, really terrible, or a physical illness, terrible things that happen in someone's life. I recently saw someone going through a really painful breakup and still running her business with so much grace. And I was like, wow, this is something I wish I could have done, but I didn't. So with the inconsistency, before I call you out on your shit, let me tell you that I feel you. And you need to forgive yourself. You were not consistent. It's fine. You can be consistent now. Consistency is not just for your business, right? It's not just posting content daily. It's not just doing emails weekly or doing your weekly podcast. It's also about consistent in your habits, consistent in going for a walk for your mental health. Consistency is the key to really long-lasting results. Because if you just live through those cycles, which probably most of you here are women, we have our own cycles, and we need to listen to that too. You know, that's what I'm talking about when I say, like, I always know the context of what I'm saying, but there is a way to follow your rhythm and still be consistent, right? So being consistent is not just for the sake of pleasing the algorithm. That was my story for a long time. I was like, I don't want to be a slave to the algorithm. And I was crying about it. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have reach. I don't have views. I'm not growing my following. What am I going to do? like yada, yada, yada. I really want my Instagram to work. And simultaneously, I was holding that belief and that desire to grow an online presence, an online business. Okay, to grow an online business with an online presence. And I know I wanted most of my people to come through Instagram, my podcast, and YouTube. I knew that was my goal. Like, I know exactly how I want to funnel my client to my work to create my community of women, because I know we vibe. And I know that my people are going to vibe with the same thing that I do, usually. And we're all on fucking Instagram. My girlies and I, we are all on Instagram. So I knew that's what I wanted, but simultaneously I was blaming the algorithm, and I was like, I just want to live free. Like I'm a free being. Like, freedom is such a big thing for me. I think it's my Sagittarius rising and all this fire. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm rebellious, blah, blah. Yes, but you don't get fucking results when you do that. You don't get results because you have to play the game. Especially if you say you want to grow on Instagram, you're going to have to stop blaming the algorithm for your lack of consistency. The algorithm is simple, I think. Simplest. It's more simple than we think it is. I'm not an expert. I'm really not. But I believe that with consistency, it's not about the algorithm. It's also showing the people that are following you that you follow through, that you're present, that you're leading yourself. That what makes you a leader. So it's not because you're a slave to the algorithm. It's because you lead yourself. And being a leader means that people can rely on you. So when you show up consistently, people can rely on you. When your podcast episodes are coming out every single week, it doesn't mean people are going to listen to it. But they know every Friday, there is Full Circle with Lika. That creates a sense of authority and leadership because I'm leading myself, because I'm showing up. I want to add also that it makes you feel like you're doing something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to lose my pregnancy weight, extra pounds, my extra kilos from pregnancy. If I was just doing one workout here, going on a walk there, but I was not doing it every single day, 4 times a week, every single day going for a walk, every single day paying attention to my nutrition and doing everything to feel nourished and strong and like the fit mama that I am, I would feel like crap. I would feel like, yeah, I don't really have the result, but I know why. You eliminate such a big insecurity when you're showing the fuck up, because you're like, fucking hell, I'm doing everything. I'm showing up. Like, I know I can rely on me. It builds so much confidence. It's so good. Let's move to the next one, because the next one is really connected. Let's say you are consistent. Let's say you are posting on Instagram. Let's say you are showing the fuck up, but you have a weak marketing and vague messaging. So this is point number 4 of why your business might be stagnant when you could be making millions. If your marketing is screaming, boring, too vague, we don't fucking know what you're talking about, this is not going to land. What you want is a marketing that lands with people. This is what I focused so much of the last few years to work on my business. And it's so much easier for me, for some reason, to do it with clients and friends, just anyone else, even big brands. Like, I can take you a big brand, see and spot how they can do better and offer something so amazing. For some reason, I'm so frustrated about that, because for some reason, I really struggle with my own marketing and my own messaging. Especially sometimes I'm thinking, it must be so nice to be a fitness coach. It must be so nice to be a business coach, to do just fitness or just business, because so easy. Do you want to lose 50 pounds? Are you already working out and you don't see the results? Do you want to snatch waist and getting toned and you're already eating the protein, you're already doing the workouts, but you feel like nothing is working out and you still have low energy? Then hire me. I'm going to help you, right? You could be posting shitloads of before and after of a transformation of your clients. Easy. If you're a business coach, that could be, do you want 5K consistently? Do you want 10K, 15Ks, 50K month consistently? Are you wanting to step into the 6-figure business owner that you are? I'm getting a bit tired. I think I need water. Anyway, the water is too far. I'm not going to move around the house now. So I'm just going to continue dehydrating myself for the sake of this lesson, of this episode. So have you ever thought about that, right? Maybe you are in another niche, in another industry, and you're like, oh my God, I just wish I was a fitness coach, or I wish I was a business coach. When I go into those thoughts of like, oh my God, if only I was a fitness coach. And I wanted to be a fitness coach when I was younger because I was so into fitness, and that changed my life. And I'm still such a lover of the weights, of lifting weights. But I couldn't do fitness coaching because, girl, I would be so mean. I'll be like, God, you fucking ass in the gym. Like, I'll be like, just fucking do it. No, I'm sure I will balance it out with a lot of compassion too. I love the tough love coaching style, especially when we talk about fitness or business. Like, this is where I need some fucking real, some fucking fire. Am I going to be able to deliver this 4th point about weak marketing and messaging? Let me take an example. We were talking about my friend. She was like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. And I was like, okay, we're gonna check your positioning and your marketing. Like, what is your offer again? First of all, she's my friend. She's been selling it. She's been launching it. And I couldn't quite remember what the offer was about. Red flag. I should know. There are people that I'm not going to buy it from, but I've seen they have clear messaging, clear positioning, an amazing strategy, marketing strategy. They've been selling on repeat. I know what their offers are, even if I'm never going to buy from them. So that means they have great marketing. It doesn't make a business. It's not because you have great marketing. You need other things, but I feel like marketing and messaging is such a big part of business. And this is literally what I've focused all of my attention this year, what I'm getting trained in, what I'm analyzing. I'm crazy, bitch. Every time I receive an email and I'm like, whoa, that's great copywriting. That's great messaging. Oh, I feel stuff. Oh, I want to buy, even though I'm not initially interested in the product. I literally take the thing, I copy paste it in a Google Doc, and I take every little sentence. I'm not kidding. I'm taking every little sentence and I'm like, okay, what did they do with that sentence? Okay, the first one was a great hook. Like, it hooked my attention. Like, give me the tea, girl. Then it was mentioning something I've already tried but didn't work for me. But the way they did it made me feel yada, yada, yada. And then they used my deep desire, but they turn it in a way that was so comprehensive. And like, I'm like dissecting their messaging when I find something that I really love. Because, girl, I want to crack the code of this right now. And that's also very tied to another fucking point. I'm realizing I don't have 7 points for you. I literally have only 6. Breaking news. Maybe another one will come through as we talk, but like, I only have the 6 for you, and I promise 7 mistakes. The lack of integrity, Lika. I cannot. You're lying. Okay, what I wrote. There is a messaging problem if what you're saying is still not landing. Okay, so if you're using like super vague languages, again, I'm gonna trying to focus, but being that dehydrated in a very warm, very hot house is making this whole process a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to try to take a deep breath and come back with you with more presence and not get distracted by how much I'm sweating right now. My friend, she had this offer. I didn't fully remember what it was about because the language was so much fluff. And I get it. Her target audience is a community of people who know the lingo, the spiritual lingo. So it makes sense for her brand to use some spiritual lingo. But I think that comes into the branding aspect and not into the messaging aspect. I think you can build a brand around those woo-woo terms and really talking about angels and soul essence and like, I almost want to demo Let me demo it with you right now. That's the first time I'm doing like a live audit on that podcast. Okay, she had this offer. I hope she won't be mad at me for doing it publicly, because we worked on that yesterday. She has this thing that connects you to the soul essence. By the way, she is everything we talked about in this podcast. She is amazing at what she does. She is probably the best space holder I've ever met in my life. She is brilliant. She has so many different levels of expertise. She is so good at what she does. And what she provides with this offer is fucking legit. Like, she will take you to like, and I'm not even sponsored. I should be. I should get a commission on that. But in her messaging, okay? So I'm like, okay, I don't remember your offer. So I go to her page. I'm not going to bother to go through all the posts because she's doing many things at the same time. So I'm not going to go and try to find the post from the launch where she explained what it is. So I just go in the highlights. This is why when I put myself in the client's shoes, that's when I realized how some stuff that we sometimes bypass are actually really important. Like having a highlight that same, the first few slides of the highlights, it's her talking, explaining this shit. I don't have time. I cannot bother. As a consumer with a attention span, an attention, very terrible attention, right? I can focus just a few seconds. So I'm like, I'm not. Like, she's talking about her offer, probably saying like how great it is. And like, I know it's great because I know her. If I don't really have built that trust in her, I'm like, yada, blah, 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 blah. Don't give a fuck. Sorry, that's mean, but because I know she's good at what she does. So that's why I'm allowing myself. I'm not just talking trash. That's frustrating me to see so much untapped potential. Okay, so then she uses terms like soul essence, visionary. Then there is a list of everything that's good because there is like, this is your chance to pick my brain on anything visually related to, that goes too fast, to your business. Photos, graphic templates, font, like this is clear. Photos, graphics, fonts, brand identity, video editing, visual storytelling, that just makes sense. But then she's like, you will walk away with. And she was using terms like soul aligned brand aesthetic, cohesive soul aligned, to elevate your presence, magnetic visuals. Magnetic is such a term that I use so much. And I'm also like, this is giving me the ick, even though I use this term all the time. Like storytelling, like high quality storytelling imagery, clarity, confidence in your brand identity. Like there is just so many words in the same slide, like sacred, intuitive. Anyway, I'm going to stop here. I could actually do that if you want. Okay, I'm just coming up with stuff. But if you leave a review, because that helps the podcast, so I'm going to turn it to my advantage. Leave a review for this episode, and you just screenshot it before you actually submit it. You send it to me, and if you win, we can do sort of a tiny, let's say 25 minutes business audit, and I go through your shit and we talk about it. Does that sound good? Would you want to win that? Okay, so this is it. This is running. Okay, I'm going to put it in the caption and everything in the show notes. So I feel like this is great for her brand. This is building her brand. Because again, her ideal client knows those terms, are familiar with those terms. They just respond to those terms. It's terms that feel good. And that helps to build her authority as a brand of like, oh, I know this girl is like deep, right? She's not going to sell me like a Canva template, right? We know there is some soul, some depth, like all of this language is super useful in the context of brand positioning, of like she's building her brand. When it comes to selling, I don't know. I don't know what she is doing. And we were talking about this yesterday on the phone. I'm like, you need to think about the girl who is crying in her room. This is my favorite image to think about. There is a girl right now who is crying in her room because she's trying to build a strong personal brand and she's so confused. She's seeing other brands having amazing visuals, amazing brand identity through all their channels, and it looks fucking great. And also it looks like them. Like it looks like the representation of who they are. And she's trying so hard to copy that. She's searching for inspo on Pinterest. She's changing her color palette every 2 months because nothing feels like her. And so she is crying in her room because she's trying to build this business. I was taking the example of like, I don't know, like a massage therapist. She has a unique vibe to her. No other massage therapists are as good as she is. She is kind of starting to have a little community around where she lives. People start to get to know her. She knows her services are really different because she pays a lot of attention to the details. The massage studio in itself has a very unique look. Her approach is very, like, she goes every year into Thailand to get trained in Thai massage or in different Chinese medicine techniques to add to the massage. Like, she's doing great. She has a very unique thing, and she's trying to grow her business through an online presence. But she just cannot figure this shit out because it's not in her natural. Like, she loves beautiful things and she wants things to look pretty. So she uses those Canva templates. She goes on Pinterest. She even takes other big names and big businesses in her industry and try to replicate content thinking that it's going to work for her. But something feels inauthentic and she is crying and she is voice messaging her entrepreneur bestie. And she's like, what is she saying? She's like, girl, I wish I had a fucking brand that looked like me, that felt like me. I wish people were seeing me through the representation of my business. I wish I had more beautiful pictures because my picture, they suck right now. And I wish I knew how to edit. And I wish I knew like all the things. Like, she's going to say that to her bestie. So I was telling my friend, this is who you need to think about. The girl crying in her room. What is she crying about? And what does she really, really want to stop crying? And that's what sells. Because you're connecting to what she wants. This is sexy. This is attractive. This is like delicious. You know, you want, like, it's like, give it to me. This is what I want. And people cannot feel that if you use like, connect to the soul essence of your business. We were talking with my friend about that. Like, she's not crying in her room saying, oh my God, girl, like, I'm not connected to the soul essence of my business. Like, fuck no. She's not. I was about to literally cry. Like, I was getting the acting way too far. But literally, she's not saying that. She's saying, girl, my Instagram page sucks. I want a more beautiful looking website. I want something that looks like me, that represent like how much care and effort I put in my patient. Do you say patient? Clients. So we need to get out of that. And I get into that trap all the time. And when it comes to marketing and messaging, also using too vague, too overused. As I said, I use a lot the term magnetic. It doesn't mean shit anymore. What does it mean to be magnetic? Like, I feel like for my ideal client, she doesn't even know. She doesn't want to hear about it anymore. She has heard it so many times. It just comes in, comes out. As I said, we're bombarded with information. We're competing with a lot of people when we talk about the social game and the online presence. So using like super vague, like I could audit my own content. You know, I see some posts that I've been doing recently, you guys. I was thinking about one in particular this morning. What was it? Probably won't be able to find it, but I was saying like, oh, when you awaken, that was to sell Femme Sensuelle. I was like, when you awaken your most magnetic, sensual version of you, you start to speak differently and show up differently and hold yourself differently. Well, that's cool. Do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy, like, you're going to talk differently? Like, I'm not putting my money to talk differently. What does that even mean? Right? Like, so those things of like, you're going to speak your truth. Like I do want to speak my truth, right? And that's probably what the content, you know, when we talk about soul, essence, business, whatever, like, this is what you're going to do in the program because you know that's what she needs and it will make sense in the teachings. But for selling something, you need to connect of like, I see you, I see where what you're experiencing right now. In the case of Femmes Sensuelles, I've worked with 4 archetypes of women. One is being, this girly that is super rigid and stuck in her masculine all the time and feeling really tense and very up in the head all the time. And I was about to say constipated. Basically, that's that. And she just see other women and she feels so triggered. Like she's scrolling through Instagram and she's seeing this woman doing a heel dance class and she's like, oh my God, I wish that was me. Or she's seeing another beautiful women being so like flirtatious and wearing the silk robe, and she buys the silk robe, but on her it looks completely different. She still looks super stiff. I have pictures of me when I was like that back in the days where you see me with high heels and stuff and like with the little dress, and the clothes are so feminine, but like my energy, like you can see I'm so rigid. Even my hair are like rigid. And another archetype of who I'm selling to in Femmes Sensuelles is the girlie who's been ashamed. So, and like I know what I'm talking about in the program because all of those archetypes were at some point a version of me. So someone who's tried to embody that, but it feels awkward in the body because she doesn't really fully dare to go there. So she doesn't think like, she doesn't cry in her room being like, I wish I was more magnetic. Like she's like, no, I feel like shit in my body. Like I feel like I just want to be that girl and I'm not being my fullest self, or like whatever she's saying to her bestie, right? So we need to connect to the girl and crying. And I'm not going to sell to my person, to my ideal client. Because like here, I'm not even talking about how good the program is. Just for my friend or for me or for the massage therapist, the imaginary massage therapist. This is a granted, you're amazing. You're offering the transformation. People are going to get insane result from the program. Because I'm not here talking to people who are selling fluff bullshit and you feel like an imposter because you are, because you're selling fluff, wind, just energy, whatever. I'm not here to talk about those or with those kind of people. So if we know the program is really good, how do we sell it? And this is a mind game, and it's always harder to do it for ourselves. Like I struggle. This is my biggest pain point, really. And I've been sold offers to help me with my marketing and my messaging and my positioning because I'm like struggling. And they know what I'm crying about when I'm crying in front of my computer. Like, oh my God, I'm reading my captions and it sounds so boring. And I have to go through ChatGPT and copy paste things that I liked and be like, use this as a template. And then it sounds so ChatGPT and it sounds so AI and it still suck. And it sucks when I do it. It sucks when artificial intelligence is doing it. Like it just sucks. I want to know how to write good content. So they knew what I was crying about and they deliver it with good messaging. Like, girl, I see you. And what do you want? You want to easily sell out your programs using like a positioning that is like clicking for your dream ideal client. So I know we spent a lot of time on this one, but I think it's such an important one because this, to me, is such a waste of our energy when we're trying so hard. Two more points. I'm trying to go a little bit faster. One is trying to be relatable, trying too hard to be relatable because integrity is so important for you. I get that. And I love that about you. You are then trying to show all of your insecurities to be like, hey, but I know what you're going through. And I feel like we can tell powerful stories of like where we used to be and what we experienced and the pain and being in transparency and being in integrity without having to disclose all of our fucking insecurities. Like, I should really ask for consent because maybe I'm going to have to take this podcast down before, but I didn't know I was gonna give you so many examples. But my fitness coach, I want to see her booty more. Like, this girl worked so freaking hard to get a fucking snatched body. She is so hot, and I sense that she's a bit shy and she shares too much about her insecurities. Like, oh, I woke up this morning and I was criticizing myself in the mirror, and this is a reminder that you should not, like, this is doing a disservice. Girl, you worked so hard for the epic hot body that you are in right now. You had to overcome all of the shit you're helping your clients with. Be proud of that. Show off more. I think we need to brag more. I think we need to be more proud of what we do and stop trying to be so relatable. It doesn't make you less loving or less approachable, whatever. Like, you need people to be inspired by how you hold yourself. And they know you have insecurities. You can emphasize with them without having to tear yourself down. Does that make sense? And I know I've done that a lot too. Sometimes I'm posting thing and I don't know if it's about relationship and I'm in a really bad place with my boyfriend. I'm like, I'm so out of integrity. Oh my God, how can I talk about this? Like, I'm so disembodied in that. And because I tend to judge and criticize a lot of people that are blah, 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 saying a lot of things, but in the back end, in, the back door, behind the curtains, they're really not embodied in that. So I do that with myself every time I'm out of integrity. But sometimes we need to know that we still have authority and we have things to say and we should be proud of what we already accomplished, even if we still have insecurities, right? I don't know. I was battling a little bit of imposter syndrome, teaching about sensuality and being overweight from my pregnancy. And I was like, oh my God, like there are so many months where I didn't feel sensual. Like, how am I going to be in integrity with that? How am I going to be embodied in that? And then I realized, bitch, this is literally everything you walked yourself through to liberate yourself. Those are proven strategies and tactics and tools, and literally like a toolbox of things that even right now, because you feel a little bit less secure in your body, a little bit less confident, you go back to. So if it's serving you, it's going to serve others. You need to believe that. So I don't want to see your insecurities. When I invest in a fitness coach, like, I want you to be so proud of how hot you look, to be so bragging about your client's result. Like, look at how hot my client got. Like, look at how hot my glutes are. Like, this is what you want to put forward. I think this is so important. And it's not saying, right? It's not saying like, oh, my program is amazing, you should buy it. That doesn't make anyone fucking want to buy. Like, this is not in this way. I hope that you understand that it's just constantly showcasing your mess, your struggle. I used to be like that, like always showing like when I'm crying or when I'm going through something and I'm voice messaging my besties, feeling so down and feeling so insecure. And then I'm posting a piece of content that is supposed to be empowering and I feel like a fucking imposter. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm even thinking like, if my friends see the content, they're going to think like, what the fuck? She's so not embodied and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, first of all, this is work. And my work is not to bring my mess and my chaos and all of my insecurities to my people. This is something you want to confide in sometimes. Confess, find comfort in the fact of talking to a friend. But that's not what you want to bring to your business. It makes people feel for you, but not buy from you. What makes you buy? You bought stuff. Even if you don't buy them, what are you attracted to? Someone that sells you a dream, a vision, something you could get for yourself to, like the hot body or the 5-figure month. That's what you're buying. You're not buying like, oh my God, like I used to have imposter syndrome and I overcame it and like, good, I feel for you because I feel the same. Not going to buy from you. Last one is being afraid to sell. Okay, so this one is a big one. If you're just like whispering, I used to do that all the time. Again, such a learning for me right now. This is funny how I'm trying to be relatable, right? Like I'm telling you like, oh girl, I get it. Like I'm calling you out, but I'm calling me out. Like, see how I'm working on my own shit too? Because that's what a leader does. I'm with you. We're together. We're growing together. I used to create content and hide with the last sentence at the end of the long caption, if you are curious, send me a DM for more information. Now I'm trying to be like, girl, if you want this, get your ass in Femme Sensuelle. Girl, if you want this, get your ass in my one-on-one coaching. Let's go. Let's fucking go. And that's the energy I want from you. I see people also being like, they share a few stories about education. They teach you something and then they're like, DM me this for one-on-one coaching. We don't want one-on-one coaching. We don't want that. That's not what makes you buy. You want the result. You want the snatch waist, the big glutes. You want the 5-figure month. You want the authority positioning in your business. You want the healthy gut. You want the relief and the relaxation from the massage. You want, I'm trying to get as many examples as I can, but you get it. We want the result. Like, this is what sells. Like, I'm not going to DM you to get one-on-one information. Tell me, if you want this, then DM me this. We'll take it further. Right? Get your ass in the room kind of energy. Don't be afraid to sell. I know we're afraid to sell because we feel like it's going to be a manipulation. And probably this is your experience as well. I had a terrible experience when I was earlier stages of my business. And I was working with a mindset coach. And my mindset coach at some point was like, I don't think you need mindset, Lika. I think you need business coaching. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make it work. No. That was not it. Sorry. That was even before that. That was when I was a yoga teacher. Because I used to be a yoga teacher, if you didn't know that about me. And I was a broke, struggling yoga teacher for a while. And I really wanted to grow my yoga business. But I felt like even though with a business school under my belt, I felt like I didn't know how to run a yoga business. Because I didn't know how to do conscious business. Because I didn't want to be doing business the way I was taught in business school. Even though there were a lot of gold in it. But I just rejected it because I was like, I'm so spiritual, no? So anyway, I found this girl that teaches you how to grow a profitable yoga business. Amazing marketing, amazing messaging, especially when you don't know shit. Like, I didn't know anything about the online space. I didn't know any of that. I got on a sales call. That was my first experience with a sales call. I didn't know what it was. So I just really opened up about my struggles and how it was impacting me and my family and my loved ones. And I was in a very vulnerable place because I was just suffering. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. What? Like, I just think about this version of me and how vulnerable I felt because I really felt like I didn't know shit at the time. Like, I really didn't know anything about business. Even though, again, I did a business school, but I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And so that makes you in such a vulnerable space. Like, if I know what I know today, I would never fall for something like that. And so that was like a 4K investment, I think, or a 5K investment. That was huge for me at the time. You know, with COVID and everything, I lost my 2 jobs. That's also what pushed me into the online space. But I had private yoga clients, but I was undercharging because I was feeling unworthy. It was just hard. And I go on this call and this lady is like pretending to emphasize with me just to then turn all of my pain points. It was just done in a nasty way. And now I get that the sales techniques they applied are very valid, but it made me feel so bad. They pushed me to pay at least, I was like, there is no fucking way I'm giving you 5K on the call. But they pushed me to give at least a deposit or, €100 or $100. And I did. And after I hung up the phone, I felt disgusting. I felt violated. I really felt abused. I felt like something was off. I was like, what the fuck happened? I felt completely manipulated, even though I also thought myself to be quite a strong person, someone who wouldn't get manipulated. So I felt very ashamed too. It's a story that I haven't really told because of like how ashamed I felt for this. So then it made years of trying to avoid actually selling. I was trying to be inspirational. I was trying to say, you don't have to talk about pain points. You can just talk about pleasure points because it was just me being afraid to sell. Because I was afraid to position myself as someone who has a solution to your problem. But the thing is, business is about that. Business is not about being inspirational. Like, no, it's not. So you need to sell. And we need to get comfortable with selling. Like, I'm not doing anything shady for selling. So that's also learning a way to sell that feels authentic and you're just sharing the truth. That's where also you need to know your offer is fucking solid, right? Because If you know your offer is solid and it delivers a fucking results, then why would you be afraid to sell it? You think you're going to annoy the people if you're selling all the time, but I'm sure you can find at least one example right now of someone who is constantly selling in a way. It's not just saying like, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. It's like, I see you, I have what you need. I make the content valuable no matter what, whether you buy from me or not. I'm still going to give you value because I'm not here just to sell you. I'm not just here to take your money. But if you want to go further, if you want deeper support, if you want something wider, deeper, sharper, then you get into my paid offer. I think that's how we need to go about it. And that's it for me. That was 6 deadly mistakes that makes your business stagnant when you could be making millions. So now we're on our way to building that business, girl. Like, let's go. Let's fucking go. That's my opportunity to also sell you something. So get ready. Also, this is something I practice. Like, I'm coming back to that last point of being afraid to sell. Stay in the room when someone is selling to you. Get comfortable with people selling to you. Because I had to practice that, like how sometimes I feel so uncomfortable. Those masterclass that I sign up for free. And then there always come a point where they're selling. And I know I'm not really interested, but I don't even stay in the room because I'm like, oh, they're going to manipulate me. And maybe I'm going to feel tempted to buy from them. And this is not a financial safe decision right now. And so I think in that, there is also a lot of money healing to do, right? For me, that was the case at least because everything is kind of intertwined where I need to know that I'm powerful in my decisions, that I'm not getting manipulated. But again, that one first experience really fucked me up for many years. So I stay in the room to also observe now and to learn. Like, does it make me want to sign up? Or am I just so bored out of my mind? So I just wanted to demonstrate, but I actually wanted to talk to you about the bringing back, the revival. I have actually reopened Business Activator. I'm bringing it back sharper, wiser, deeper, bolder, and more precise than ever before. And this special round of Business Activator, which is my one-on-one container, so that we can work on all the things we kind of talked about today. In Business Activator, we tackle your marketing so that all of your effort actually lands. And that when people come across your page, your website, your Instagram or whatever, they cannot help but want to buy from you. We want to create that, oh my God, I want to buy from you. Take my money. This is such a great feeling to have, even when you invest in yourself, right? I'm sure you had this feeling like, oh my God, I'm making this investment for myself. I'm buying myself this dress, or I'm buying myself this business mentorship. I'm buying myself this cute little program, 3 weeks program to get so essential that is called Femmes Sensuelles. Double promotion here. We want to create that feeling for your clients, your ideal clients. We're going to tackle your brand positioning. So we make sure that your brand feels like you and it's authentic and it's your story and it's driven by everything that makes you unique. Because you can be educating people for hours. That's not what's going to create a powerful brand. We're also going to tackle your CEO system. So everything that is in the back end of the system, everything that is behind the curtains to make sure that you run your business, I want to say effortlessly, but that's going to require effort, but in the most smooth, making sense kind of way, to make sure you have the things in place and your processes so you don't waste time. And so that you can feel like you're running a business and not a hobby, because you have this structure for your business. And also so that you don't burn yourself out and you don't get overwhelmed by everything that is to do in your business. And that you can stay connected to what you love doing instead of getting frustrated and burned out from the business aspect of your business. We're also going to make sure that you step into your CEO identity so you don't run your business from your insecurities. I'm going to be there to hold you. We're going to talk about your insecurities, but they're not getting in the way. They're not fucking getting in the way. We need those spaces as entrepreneurs because our insecurities, doubts, fears, like we have so many blocks coming up all the time. It's never going to stop. So we need spaces where we feel safe and charging from that and having someone who's like, nope, cancel, remove, delete. the insecurity. You want to feel legit as fuck in what you're doing so that you can move towards a goal and actually helping your people and not get distracted by your own shit. So basically, we're just tweaking a few things so that you finally get the results that you're hoping for. We also map out your unique business model, which means that we want you to run a business with offers that make sense to you. If you're trying to do like the big accounts with hundreds of millions of followers and start with a funnel with an ebook, but you have 200 people in your audience, half of those are high school besties, or not besties, just high school curious people that just want to see what you're doing now. This is not a good strategy, right? So we need to build an offer suite and what you actually offer that makes sense for where you are at in life right now. It needs to make sense for your business. It needs to make sense for your life. It needs to make sense if you're tired, exhausted, dealing with a lot, working a full-time job. It needs to make sense for you. You cannot apply just any random advice that is working for someone else because they may have 20 people underneath them, right? Are you busy? Are you a mom? Are you a student? We need to take in consideration your own life and your expertise and know how to package that in a way that makes people want to buy. And that makes sense for the longevity of your business. This is a very special, intimate round, and actually the only time you're gonna get access to Business Activator at this level of investment. And I really want the right women in the room. So that's application only. The price tag is actually insane for one-on-one work. That's a curated space for high caliber women that are ready to come to activate their business and themselves at the same time. That sounded great, right? Business Activator, you come and you activate yourself. I don't know, it sounds a bit poetic. But basically, we're gonna do everything I just mentioned. It's like a whole business audit of your marketing, your positioning, your branding, your systems, your CEO identity, all the things that may be blocking you from achieving the results that you know you should have by now. It's application only. So you go and find me on Instagram, you send me the word activate, and then we chat because I want to make sure we're a good fit for each other and I'm actually able to help you because there are a lot of things that are outside of my scope of expertise that I don't want you to, maybe you don't need that. And that's kind of the story I started to believe it, to begin sharing about. I remember this time where I invested in a mindset coach and thanks God it helped me so much. But at some point she was like, Lika, you don't need more mindset right now. You just need a business mentor to hold you and like to build a business. And then I found someone, but she was actually a money mindset coach, sort of like she was working more about, she was talking about business, but more of the money behind it. And she was like a big name in the industry. She had a lot of followers, a very installed business. She was so cool. I really wanted to work with her. And I'm like sharing her, and she redirected me to the actual first business mentor I ever had, which I'm so grateful for, because she was like, I don't think you need what I'm offering. I think you need proper structure of how to build the foundation of a business right now. And I was like, thanks God those people didn't abuse my vulnerability again. You know, I really was in need for something. I didn't even quite know exactly what I needed, and they were right. My mindset coach and this money girl, money business like thing, they were right. I needed a business mentor in those early stages, or what feels like early stages. This is so important. I love this episode probably more than any of the recent episodes that I've done, because I felt really like myself, and I don't know, I spent a good time because I really felt you with me. It's almost like you're here with me. Like, I'm like, are you actually, we're having a conversation, but I'm the one talking, which is fucking amazing because I love to hear myself. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I talk to you next week, because also you probably hear, now my baby is awake, and then she was asleep again, and then she was awake again. So I'm going to tend to my amazing daughter. You can also actually win an opportunity to get a 25-minute audit on what's going on in your business right now. Even if you just want to start a business, we can bring some ideas. We can like create something that just makes sense, like do this business model kind of thing if you win. So the way to do that is to leave a review for the podcast. It really helps the podcast to grow. So screenshot it, send it to me, and you're going to be entered into a little getaway. We're going to get away in a vacation together? No, giveaway, a little surprise giveaway where I'm giving away for free 25 minutes of a business audit. How amazing. You get access to my genius brain. Who wouldn't want that? this fake confidence. Like, I'm so much better than you. You know what? I'm going to end up the podcast. Woo! Freeing up my hair. Let's go.